Welcome back, my dear students and friends. Today in this lecture, we'll be discussing the water resources. I'm Professor Urus Ilyas, and this content of these slides were prepared by both Urus Ilyas and Dr. Iqbal Imam. So we'll be discussing about the water resources. We have already discussed various resources. There are two kind of natural resources. One is renewable, another is the non-renewable resources. Renewable resources, the resources which can be generated again and again, like forest, water, and all. And non-renewable resources are those which can, once they are finished, they cannot be regenerated, like fossil fuels. So, under the resources, we will be discussing about the water resources. Water is very, very important, and we have very less drinkable water. So, among the water resources are sources of water that are used for various purposes, including agriculture, industries, household, recreational, and environmental activities. We use water everywhere. We start the day with a glass of lukewarm water. So, even to sustain ourselves, we have to have the water. So, water is it is a very tiny molecule consisting of three atoms, two of hydrogen and one of oxygen, that is H2O. So that is the chemical formula of the water. Water is a shapeshifter and exists in three states of earth: liquids, gas, and solid. So these are the states. In these states, water is existing. Water is the liquid that make life on earth possible, as water cycle from the air to the land to the sea and back again. This is the water cycle. We'll be discussing the water cycle separately under the biogeochemical cycle. Here we are only discussing about the water resources. These are the part of the natural resources. These are the natural resources provided by the environment. So we are not discussing the biogeochemical cycle. We are discussing about the water, which is a source, which is a resource. So as water cycle from the air to the land to the sea and back again, it shapes our planet and nearly every aspect of our life. We need water for drinking, we need water for planting the tree, we need water for our daily activities, and we need water for agriculture purposes also. So water is an important resource. And we know the distribution of water. We have already discussed how much water is there. So we have 96.5% of water that is salty, that is in the form of the oceans. Fresh water remaining 3%. Just 3% fresh water we have. And freshwater, among the freshwater distribution, 1.762% are the ice, 1.7% is groundwater, and surface water is 0.014%, and atmosphere and soil is 0.002%. So this is the status of the water on earth. So 96.5% water we cannot drink, we cannot use. So water resources, we have surface water, precipitation, groundwater, then we have oceans, estuaries, rivers, lakes, wetlands, reservoir, glaciers. So there is an uneven distribution of water resources among different regions of India. Water is not evenly distributed. They are uneven distribution of water resources among different regions of India. India is blessed with different type of natural water resources, which include glaciers, oceans, river, lake, and groundwater. However, human being made dams and reservoir to store water. We made the dams. It is not natural. We made the dams and the reservoir to store the water, to produce the electricity. We produce the electricity using the water, making the dams, and reservoir to store the water. We made big reservoir. Otherwise, waters are present in the form of the glaciers, oceans, rivers, lake, and groundwater. These are the original form. Dams and reservoir we have made, the human being have made. Among different type of water resources, glaciers are solid form of water, and oceans has saline water, therefore making both unfit for direct utilization. We cannot drink ocean water, and we cannot have the glaciers water. So precipitation environment of India is monsoonal. We know we are having the monsoons, and due to this, half of the precipitation take place within a 15-day period. In India, the monsoon season varies as per the region, as per the area. So during monsoon, more than 90% of annual river runoff, of course, India receive annual precipitation 4,000 cubic kilometer, including snowfall. Out of this, monsoon rainfall is of order of 3,000 cubic kilometer. The north, central, and eastern parts of India receive annual normal rainfall between 75 to 150 centimeter. So highest rainfall of about 11,690 millimeter recorded from Mausinram. Mausinram, we know that is near the Cherrapunji. Earlier it was Cherrapunji. Now it is Mausinram. That is very close to the Cherrapunji, in the eastern state of Meghalaya, and very close to the Shillong. So whereas Jaisalmer in Rajasthan receive about 150 millimeter of the rainfall in a year. So this is the status. Some areas receive very high rainfall, some areas receive very less rainfall. So we have a very diverse country and we have glaciers, we have oceans, we have lake, we have rivers, and somewhere at some places we have high rainfall, and at some places we have, since we have deserts, so in deserts there are rainfall are really very less. So among the water, different kind of water, surface water is iceberg. It is a large piece of freshwater ice floating in the open water. This picture is showing the iceberg. The tectonic was Titanic was actually got hit by this icebergs. This is the iceberg, means it is a large piece of fresh water ice floating in open water is iceberg. And glaciers, large mass of ice that moves slowly over land, that is the glaciers. Glaciers is a mass of ice on land and flows down under its own weight. Glaciers are the main source of water for perennial Himalayan Indian rivers. A total area of about 18,054 square kilometer is covered with glaciers in India. There are 9,575 glaciers in the Indian Himalaya, covering about 1291 cubic kilometer as per the glacier inventory by the Geological Survey of India. The overall glaciers area has decreased from 6,332 square kilometer to 5,329 square kilometer, which amount to an average loss of 16%. So 16% glaciers we have lost. The glaciers in the Himalayas can be divided in 4 different groups. Like one is Punjab group of glaciers, Garhwal groups of glaciers, Nepal group of glaciers, and Assam group of glaciers. And following are, again I am giving a data, following are the glaciers of the Indian Himalayas. The glaciers of Indian Himalaya, the most important is Gangotri, that is 30 kilometer in length. Okay, then we have Zimu, that is in the Sikkim Himalaya. These are the big glaciers of Indian Himalayas. Milam, that is in the Nanda Devi area, that is 19 kilometer, and Kedarnath, that is Gangotri and Chaukhamba area, that is 14.5 kilometer long glaciers. So longest in the Himalayas, Indian Himalayas, is Gangotri glacier, that is 30 kilometer in length. So among the surface water, we have river basins and we have watersheds. We have river basin and the watershed. River basin are those from the term used to describe an area that drain into a river, into a larger river, is river basin. While the watershed, the term used to describe an area that drain into a smaller river or stream. So this is the river basin, this is the Ganges river basin, and this is the watershed area, receiving the water and drain into a smaller river or stream. That is the watershed area. So we have a river. A large channel along with the water is continuously flowing down to slope, which are made of many streams and come together. That is the river. And then we have streams. We have rivers, streams, and lakes. Rivers we have just discussed. So this is the picture which is explaining the river. Rivers are usually long, very long, as compared to stream and lakes. So a small channel along with water is continuously flowing down to a slope, which are made up of small gullies. This picture is showing the streams. Stream is in different areas, like I worked in Himalayas. So stream is called as the Nala in Himalayas. And then we have lakes. A body of water considerable size containing on a body of land is the lake. So we have many lakes also. Then we have groundwater. Those were the surface water, river, and so groundwater is the water found in the cracks and pores in sand, gravel, and rocks below the earth's surface. That is the groundwater. Beneath the earth's surface is the groundwater. So groundwater is the water found in cracks and pores in sands, gravel, and rock below the earth's surface. Aquifer, this picture is showing itself. Aquifer is a rock layer that stores water and allows water to flow through it. If the water goes inside the aquifer, it will be stored for years and years. Then we have wetlands. Again, one of the resource, very good resource. Wetlands, an area where the water table is at near or above the land surface long enough during the year to support adapted plant growth. Wetlands are not only supporting the plant growth, but also there are many wetlands in India which are the home for the migratory birds. So wetlands are also very, very important if we talk about the migratory birds. Other surface water are the under the other surface water we have wetlands. Just discussed, the wetlands are very, very important. So there are three kind of wetlands: the swamp, bogs, and marshes. So the swampy area are those wetlands which are with the water but having the long tree. And a wetland dominated by the trees is the swampy area, swampland. And among the second category of the wetland is the bogs. Bogs are wetland dominated by peat mosses. We can see from this picture, it is dominated by the peat mosses. And then the marshes, a wetland dominated by the grasses. That is the marshes. Okay, so we have three different kind of wetlands. That is swamp, bogs, and marshes. Water resources in India, shoreline of a country is 7,000 kilometer, and total river length is 13,142 kilometer. Major rivers are 8, important rivers are 12, minor rivers 400, and water bodies are 24,24,540. Ponds we have 59.5%, tanks 15.5%, reservoirs 12.1%, and water conservation scheme 12.7%. So these are the water resources in India we have, and based on their sources the Indian river system is classified. Apart from the wetland, the Indian river system has also been classified into Himalayan rivers and the peninsular rivers. So we have Himalayas and we have Peninsula. So we have the Himalayan river system and the Peninsular river system. The Himalayan river system originates from the Himalaya, and Peninsular river system originates from the Peninsula. So Himalayan river originates from the Himalaya and flow through the northern plains. So major Himalayan rivers are the Indus river system, the Ganges river system, the Yamuna river system, and the Brahmaputra river system. Indian river system is the longest. So these are the river system we have in Himalayas. These are the major river system. Then we have various tributary of these river system. Peninsular river system emerges mainly from the Western Ghats. So this map is showing about these are the Himalayan river system, and this is the Peninsular river system. So this map has been taken from the Government of India website. So these rivers either flow eastward into the Bay of Bengal or into the Arabian Sea. Towards the west, these rivers are rain-fed. So the peninsular river system emerging from the Western Ghat are mostly rain-fed. The major peninsular river system are Mahanadi, Godavari, Krishna, and Kaveri. So these are the major peninsular river system, and they all are emerging from the peninsula. So they either go to the Bay of Bengal towards the eastward side or go to the Arabian Sea. So this is about the peninsular river system, major peninsular river system. And most of the lakes are fed and drained by river and stream. So based on the origin of lakes can be divided into different types of um, lakes. A glacial lake, first is the glacial lake. The picture itself is explaining. Glacial lake is a body of water with origins from glacier activities. That is the glacial lake. The second is the tectonic lake. Tectonic lake, what is tectonic lake? We discussed in our earlier lecture when we were studying the environmental studies. The first few lectures we discussed about the plate tectonic. So tectonic lakes, they are formed due to tectonic movement. When the tectonic plates, the earth is based on the tectonic plate, and tectonic plate is floating, is moving towards the east. So because of the movement, they are formed. Because of the movement of the tectonic plate, they are formed. This is the picture of the tectonic. These all pictures has been taken from the authentic website, and due credit will be given to these pictures. Then we have fluvial lake. This is the fluvial lake. So we can easily make out from the picture, this is how the water flows and makes the fluvial lakes. So this is also called as the riverine lake. Are lakes created by running water. They can include plunge pool lakes, fluviatile dams, and meander lake. This is the fluvial lake. Then we have shoreline lake. Shoreline lake can form in many ways, including river accumulating sediments, ocean current, black estuaries. So this is the shoreline lakes. The next is the dammed lake. And dam lake is a natural freshwater reservoir that forms when a glacier blocks the flow of water out of tributary valley. So this is the dam lake. The picture itself explaining the dam lake. So dam lake is natural freshwater reservoir that form when a glacier blocks the flow of water out of a tributary valley. So this is the dam lake. And then we have volcanic lake. Name itself explains what is the volcanic lake. Because of the volcanic activities, we make the volcanic lake. So volcanic lake is a body of water that forms from volcanic activity. The name itself is explaining volcanic lake is a water body that forms from volcanic activity. So the Lonar Lake lies within the only known extraterrestrial impact crater found within the Great Deccan Trap, a huge basaltic formation in India. So this is the volcanic lake. So we have glaciers lake, we have fluvial lakes, we have dam lakes, we have tectonic lake, we have shoreline lake, we have volcanic lake. So these are few. There are many types of lakes. These are few. We'll be discussing only these. So we have just discussed 6 types of lakes, and on the basis of the productivity, lake can be divided on the basis of the productivity. How productive is the lake? The lake can be divided into oligotrophic, low primary productivity, mesotrophic, eurotrophic, hypereutrophic, and dystrophic, organic rich lake. So, oligotrophic is an organism that can live in environment with very low level of nutrient. That is the oligotrophic. The second is the mesotropic. Mesotropic lake are lake with an intermediate level of productivity, mesotropic. Name itself explains mesotropic, medium level of productivity. These lakes are commonly clear water lakes and ponds with beds of submerged aquatic plant and medium level of nutrients. So this is the mesotropic. These lakes are commonly uh, clear water lakes and ponds with beds of submerged aquatic plants and medium level of nutrients. So this is the mesotropic. Eutropic, we know what is eutropic. Eutropic is rich in nutrient. That is the eutropic. And when the pond is very rich, we call it eutrophication. So eutropic is rich in nutrient and so supporting a dense plant population, the decomposition of which kills animal life by depriving it of oxygen. When the pond is full of plants, eutrophication, rich in nutrients, and so supporting a dense plant population. When the population growth is very high and it is densely populated, the decomposition of which kills animal life by depriving it of oxygen. When they decompose, when they die, so it makes the animal life difficult. So they make the animals depriving of the oxygen. Then next is the hypereutrophic. Hypereutrophic, name itself suggests it is the advanced form of the eutrophic lakes. So hypereutrophic is lake are very nutrient rich lake characterized by frequent and severe nuisance algal bloom and low transparency. So this is hypereutrophic. Algal bloom take place in this. And the last is the dystrophic organic rich lake. Dystrophic having brown acidic water that is low in oxygen and support little life owing to high level of dissolved humus. So on the basis of the productivity, lake can be divided in 5 different groups: oligotrophic, mesotrophic, eutrophic, hypereutrophic and dystrophic. So these are the five different types on the basis of the productivity. So there are certain examples of the urban lakes also. The Wular Lake in Jammu and Kashmir Lake, 5 lakes of Udaipur, Rajasthan, Mysore Lake, Sukhna Lake, Chandigarh, lakes of Kumaon Hills, Nainital, Bhimtal, Sattal and Nakuchia in Uttarakhand. I believe people in the North India must have visited all these hill stations, Nainital, Bhimtal, Sattal. So these are the lakes in the Kumaon Himalayas. Then we have Jal Mahal Lake that is in the Jaipur. Name itself suggests that it should be from the Jaipur. Hyderabad Lake, Bhopal Lakes, Mumbai Lakes and Bangalore City Lakes. Renuka, Kheladev, Loktak, Lunar and Sambar Lakes are examples of rural lakes. These are the examples and these are the examples of the urban lakes. So we have urban lakes and we have rural lakes. Rural lake means urban lake which are in the city or near to the town, and rural means which are, and they are actually advantageous because they are having more biodiversity. Rural lakes are having more, like Kheladev, Renuka, Kheladev, Loktak, Lunar and Sambar lakes are example of the lunar. Loktak lake is very important, and if we talk about the brow antler deer, Shanghai deer or brow antler deer, or you can say Manipur brow antler deer or dancing deer, they are found only in Loktak lake. Only in nowhere else in India or nowhere else in the world. So that way Loktak lake is very important. And definitely since these are in the rural area, so there is less pressure and that is why they are very successful, having more biodiversity. So this is the pictures we have already discussed, is showing the river systems in India. This map has been taken from the Government of India website. The due credit will be given. There are total of 10 major rivers in India. These include Ganges River Basin, Brahmaputra River Basin, Indus River Basin, Tapti River System, Kaveri River System, Mahanadi River System, Narmada River System, Yamuna River System, Krishna River System and Godavari River System. Narmada is the oldest system in India, and Narmada originates from Amarkantak in Madhya Pradesh. That is the old, Narmada is the oldest river system and originate from Amarkantak in Madhya Pradesh. So Narmada starts from here. So these are the river systems. We have these rivers, their length, their area, or originated from like Indus. This is the length, like 3,180 kilometer is the length, and it originates from area is 3,21,289 square kilometer, and basically they originate from Tibet in northern slope of Mount Kailash, and it falls into the Arabian Sea. Places benefited India and Pakistan. So the Indus River originates from Tibet, and the total length is 3,180 kilometer, while 1,114 kilometer is in India. So it starts from originate from Tibet and comes to the India and goes to the Arabian Sea. Then we have Ganges, Ganga, which is also called as the Bhagirathi. The length is the 2,525 and area is 1.08 million square kilometer. So Ganga is originating from Uttarakhand and goes to the Bay of Bengal. So Ganges give the benefit to the Uttar Pradesh, Uttarakhand, Bihar, and West Bengal. These are the places which are being benefited by the Ganges. Like this, we have many river systems, their length, their areas, and from where they actually originate, and where they ends. Like most of the rivers are going ends in the Bay of Bengal from the stable we can, and some in Arabian like Narmada and Tapti in the Arabian Sea, and some in the Gulf of Mannar. So these rivers are passing through different cities, different districts, and benefiting those areas, because these river system giving the opportunity to the people to use the water for the agriculture purposes. So longest river is Indus, I have already mentioned, 3,180, and only 1,114 square kilometer is in India. Longest in India is Ganga, that is Bhagirathi, and smallest is Thamira Barani Narmada. The oldest river system, Narmada is the oldest river system we have already mentioned, and it starts from the Amarkantak, that is the MP. So this is about this again has been taken, the data has been taken from the Government of India authentic website, the Maps of India. There is a website, so we can further explore. Now this water, which is the life, which is providing all the benefit to help ourselves, are being polluted. These water are being polluted, and the water pollution comes from many sources, including pesticides. We are using on the name of the green revolution. We started using pesticides, fertilizers, herbicides, and sometime in greed, because of the greed, we have more and more crops. What we are doing is, instead of prescribed dose, we are giving more and more, and that is not only polluting the crop but also going down, polluting the soil, as well as seeping inside the ground and going inside the groundwater and polluting the groundwater also. The release of such substance into bodies of water that makes water unsafe for human use and disrupt aquatic ecosystem. So water pollution can be caused by a plethora of different contaminants, including toxic waste, petroleum, and disease-causing microorganisms. So these are the release of the substance. We are throwing everything in the water, thinking that it will be pure, it will clean our environment, but only we are cleaning the land, rest we are polluting our water system. Water pollution refer to the contamination of water bodies like river, lakes, ponds and ocean. It is caused when the pollutant generated by human activities like industrialization, urban waste, littering, etc., enter our water bodies and pollute them. So these are the reasons. All the industrial waste we are throwing into the water without checking, without monitoring what kind of effluent we are sending in the water, throwing in the water. All the garbage, the Bombay is the best example. All the garbage we are throwing in the, we have big sewage canals directly opening in the, without having, most of these openings do not have these treatment plants. There are sewage treatment plants by which we can actually control, but no, that is not. So that is unmonitored. So water pollutant can be divided into three different major categories. One is the substance that harm human or animals by causing disease or physical damage. That is the substance that harm. Second is the substance or situation that decreases the oxygen content of water. First is the substance that harm human or animal. Second is the substance or situation that decrease the oxygen content of water, leading to anaerobic decay and the death of aquatic life. And third is the substance that are indirectly harmful. So these are the three major categories of pollution. As water is an important element of human health, polluted water directly affect the human body. Water pollution causes various diseases. We have lots of diseases are waterborne, like typhoid, cholera, hepatitis, cancer. So these all are because of the, one of the reason is the having polluted water. The people living in the industrial areas, drinking water, polluted water, are actually facing all these problems. That is why if you are having typhoid is from the polluted waters. When you have typhoid, you have polluted water, you should make it hot, boil it, and then only drink it. This is what the doctors suggest. So not only these diseases, but water pollution damage the plant and aquatic animals present in the river by reducing the oxygen content of the water. So these are the harms we are getting from the pollution because of the pollution. Water conservation and management is very, very important. There is a need of effective management to conserve it because water is very important, cell of life. There are some major implications like prevention of water pollution. We have to think about to control the water pollution, recycling and reuse of the water, watershed management, and rainwater harvesting. These are few. And water conservation and management, the government is having many schemes. Government of India is having many schemes under the Ministry of Jal Shakti. The government of India has taken several initiatives to address water conservation, which includes Jal Shakti Abhiyan, Jal Jeevan Mission, National Water Mission. These are few. Jal Shakti Abhiyan launched in 2019. This campaign aimed to promote water conservation and water resource management. In 2021, the campaign expanded to all districts of the country with the theme Catch the Rain Where It Falls When It Falls. Beautiful quote. Catch the rain where it fall when it fall. This was the slogan for the program launched in 2021. Second is the Jal Jeevan Mission. Jal Jeevan Mission was the another scheme launched by the Government of India, launched by the Ministry of Jal Shakti, and launching in 2019, the initiative aimed to provide safe drinking water to all rural households by 2024. So, government is ensuring to provide fresh drinking water to each and every household by 2024, and they are very successful in this. Then third is the National Water Mission. This scheme includes preparing state-specific action plan, human resource development, capacity building, and setting up the National Bureau of Water Use Efficiency. So these are the government initiative taking to conserve and to provide the pure water, so that to to provide the unpolluted water. So these are the, but still we can also take small steps for the water conservation. We know only very little, 1 point something is left for drinking water. The major portion has gone to the sea, the ocean, which we cannot drink. So we also can make effort to conserve the water, like rainwater harvesting. This is one of the important. Every household can, every farmer can do this rainwater harvesting. During the rain, they can do the harvesting. High efficiency clothes washers, weather based irrigation control, garden hose nozzle that shut off when not in use, low flow taps in wash basin. While we are brushing our teeth, what we are doing, we are keeping the wash basin tap open, and water runs without, we are not realizing how important is the water. So instead of using the tap water, running tap water, take the water in the glass and then brush. That is the small step, but actually affect a lot, very effective. Swimming pool covers that reduces evaporation. And lastly, the afforestation. The afforestation is ultimate cure for every kind of pollution, every kind of thing. Because afforestation means plantation, and plantation means more trees. The trees brings the rains, clouds, rains, and that's how we get more and more drinkable water. So thank you very much for this attending this class, and I hope you understand the importance of the water, and we are going to do the conservation of the water in future. Thank you very much. See you in my next class.